at your neighbor and say, neighbor, aren't you fortunate that you're getting to sit next to me this morning? All right, give them a high five and get ready for the kickoff to our New Jersey stop here for the State of the People tour.
There is a tour taking on America, not a music tour, but the sound of the people.
This is for us to love on us, to educate us, to collaborate with us, to support us so that we can move through these next new normal.
It's the State of the People Power Tour, and we're on it in Blackland.
And now,
as a brown person, you just feel so invisible.
That's not tradition. Where we're from.
Brothers and sisters, I welcome you to this joyful day.
We celebrate freedom. Where we are.
Get on the ground!
I know someone heard something.
And where we're going.
We the people means all the people.
The Black Information Network presents Blackland with your host, Vanessa Tyler.
We were not going to sit by and just have Zooms and conversations and text messages with one another about the crisis that we find ourselves in as it relates to Black folks in America, but instead that we would go see about our people.
Going to see about the people is what this tour is about. This is the stop in Newark, New Jersey. Activist Tamika Mallory is a voice you will hear on the tour. She's always been in the fight for our people. Her organization, Until Freedom, was on the front line for justice for Breonna Taylor.
I've never met Breonna Taylor, but I fought so hard for her and have been in relationship with her family until it feels like she's my own sister.
A sister to us all, and to Tamika for Black people to make it. Like ancestors in the past, healing and help starts with us, thus the tour.
And so Angela Rye, who we love dearly, has been the captain leader who's kept us all in check and on track every single day. And I am very, very humbled and honored by the opportunity. It's a lot of work.
Necessary work, especially in this political climate, with Black people impacted by the Trump administration policies and the words of the president himself.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better?
We don't have a full accounting of the cost of people losing their jobs, even some who have been reinstated. And so in this moment, rather, I think it's really important for us to do two things. One is to reclaim our own power. So much of what we are learning in this moment where so many of us are getting a civics lesson is that the government has been helpful for some in filling incredibly important gaps. But we all know that we have everything we need in order to do what our community needs. The second thing is to hold elected officials accountable. This is why it's important for us to vote in every election, not just presidential.
Dr. David Johns is also on the tour.
This is a community-powered tour, and we've done everything possible to make sure that we are plugging into the work that community leaders have already been doing.
Dr. Johns has been collecting research on where Black people stand.
The Black Paper Project is a reflection of our collective brilliance, the fact that there is nothing that exists in the world that didn't originate from the brilliance and brawn and contributions made by African descendants. And we have worked with over 100 activists, advocates, leaders, direct service providers, intellectuals, researchers to produce a series of Black papers. Black because we are Black and we're powering this. And the papers, once we're done with this project, they're being released throughout the tour. Once we're done with the tour, we will have nearly 30 policy papers on a range of topics, all impacting our beautifully diverse community. We started with the first 5 policy issues that we know are most important to Black people. That includes healthcare and the economy, public safety. We have more than 4 papers that have been authored by a range of folks on a number of issues connected to public safety, including gun violence. And my hope is that everyone will find at least a paper that responds to an issue that is important to you. There are 6 papers available right now at stateofthepeople.com/Black Papers.
It's just an honor to be a part of this work for the Save the People's Tour with Tamika, Dr. Johns, Angela, and the entire coalition of folks that's a part of this.
The State of the People Power Tour will tackle the biggest problem in Black communities: gun violence. That's where Dorian Murray Thomas comes in. She founded the organization She Wins, Inc., and she mentors girls who lost a loved one to gun violence, just like she did.
My father, who came to this country from Guyana, he raised me with my mom, who grew up in Elizabeth, not too far from Newark. When I was 7 years old and he was on his way to go pay my school tuition at the Chad School, which is an all-Black small school in Newark at the time, he was robbed and killed 2 blocks from our house. And so I, went from being a kid who had really good grades in school to ending up being the principal's office a little bit more.
The gun violence trauma of young Black people isn't the only issue. Shadowing it all, the politics now forces everyone to discuss, to engage, to act.
Donald Trump and his administration, his co-president Elon Musk came in and said DEI is out and it's divisive, and have criminalized people in many ways who are sticking to their diversity, equity, and inclusion commitments. And there are some people who stood tall, and there are other people who have folded. And one of the questions that I asked an executive from Target, because as you know, we are actively engaged in a Target boycott. And when I was speaking with the executive, they were saying to me, well, the environment that we're in, changes have to be made, and we're just trying to figure out how to do much of the work, but still, because of this environment, we need to be careful.
I told them what I'm getting ready to tell you. We ain't going back in there.
The Target boycott. Organizers like Pastor Jamal Bryant emphasized our buying power in one of his recent messages from the pulpit of New Birth, his Atlanta church.
Look at the person beside you and tell them we ain't going in there. We ain't going.
Pastor Bryant says so far, Target has met only one of several demands.
Target has agreed that by July the 31st, they will complete the pledge of $2 billion for Black business.
That's not good enough. Tamika Mallory says that is the line Black people are drawing in the sand.
You either choose to stand with our communities or you don't. And guess what? The Target boycott is not something that a few of us, whether that be Pastor Jamal Bryant or Nina Turner or Senator Nina Turner or others, have just created on our own. This came from the people. The people decided that, you know what, we called you Tarjay. We walked around the stores for 4 or 5 hours. We bought stuff we didn't even need. And since you've decided that you're not going to stand down with us and say that DEI is not just something you're going to continue to do, but that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a part of the fabric of who you are, and therefore you cannot separate yourself from it, then you're not going to be neutral, but you're going to make a very, very clear commitment to our communities. People said, I'm done. I'm walking out. Not that we don't even have to be angry. We really don't. We can just simply say kindly with a smile on our face, we have $1.8 trillion and we will hold it and spend it where we feel our communities are respected.
The State of the People Power Tour shows hope and the resilience of Black people. A Dorian whose father was killed when she was 7 grew up to be the youngest elected official ever in New Jersey on the school board, and now she is an Essex County commissioner.
In Newark, we passed an ordinance last year that gave young people the right to vote in their school board elections as early as 16 years old, one of the earliest and first cities in the country to do this, the second largest to do it outside of Oakland.
She says young people are ready, want to be engaged. It is their future.
And so in this moment, while there are so many alarms being rung, my hope is that we avoid doing the thing that fascists want us to do, and that's to retreat, it's to isolate ourselves, it's to trip over ourselves, to capitulate before we have to, in terms of the edicts that are being espoused by the current occupant of the Oval Office. We don't have to do any of that. What we should be doing is loving on and leading into community.
I'm excited about what's going to come from this when it comes to young people, because I've got a sense that at this rally, at these intergenerational and interfaith and all these different efforts that we're going to have happening next week at State of the People Tour in Newark, we are going to have our next mayors, next council people, next school board members, next county commissioners, next David Johns, next Tamika Mallory's of the next generation being poured into in the room, in the spaces that we're creating, because that's just how powerful it is. And that's how powerful what we're doing is going to create for our tomorrow. I'm certain of that.
And so they have found ways to take care of one another. And when you ask, what are we learning across the country? It is that. It is simply meeting organizations like She Wins and other groups that are coming to us saying, if we have the right resources and the type of awareness necessary, we can scale up and help more people in our communities. And I think that for those of us like Dr. Johns, Angela Rye, and Joyanne Reed, and Pastor Mike McBride, and Gary Chambers, and the list goes on of folks who are engaged in this tour, we don't have a million or hundreds of thousands of followers just for us to post nice selfies and cute pictures of ourselves and the work and whatever we want to show the world about our lives. Our purpose is to use what we've gained and the resources that we've been able to pull together to support our brothers and sisters on the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Let's thank this amazing panel, this wisdom, this insight.
Dr. David Johns, Adorian Murray Thomas of She Wins, Inc., and Tamika Mallory are on all social media platforms. Tamika's new book, I Live to Tell It, her page-turning memoir, is out now. Go to TamikaMallory.com. And to find out if the State of the People Power Tour is headed to a city near you, go to stateoftheppl.com. I'm Vanessa Tyler on Blackland. A new episode drops every week.